Hey guys, welcome to the channel. You're watching the Art Occultist, and I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Today I am going to do a hashtag which has been around for a few years. It is the Happy Witch tag by Kelly and Maddox. I originally saw James Finney's response to this hashtag, and I decided to do a VR, even though this hashtag is a few years old. Now, today I decided to film outside because the weather is really nice, so I don't know if the sound will be the best, but we are just rolling with it. So I have 10 prompts, and I haven't written any of my answers. I'm just going to do them here on the spot, and let's see what comes up. So all of the prompts seem very interesting. I was very intrigued when I saw the video by James Finney, and I just wanted to answer all of the prompts. So that's what we are doing today. So the first question or prompt is the what makes you the happiest about being a witch? Now, I've recorded some of my thoughts around spiritual labels. And to be quite honest, I don't use the label witch for myself. I haven't used it for a very, very long time. It's true that I started out as Wiccan, but it was more than 10 years ago at this point. And right now, I consider myself to be a spiritual practitioner, eclectic spiritual practitioner, not exactly a witch. But for the sake of this VR, what makes me the happiest about my spiritual practice is the fact that it allows me to be who I am. It gives me purpose, it gives me meaning, and it gives me permission to explore things that are beyond this material world. And I don't feel strange about that. So this is the thing that makes me the happiest. About being a spiritual practitioner, it's my communication with the unseen and the knowledge, the wisdom, and the guidance that I'm able to access through those practices. Okay, number 2. Which practice do you enjoy most in your practice? So in my spiritual practice, the thing that I enjoy most is spirit communication, deity connection, and energy alignment. Those are the things that are core for me right now. Divination, I love tarot and oracle cards, and for the most part I use them as a tool to commune with my deities, and this is the part that I enjoy the most in my practice. Another avenue that is one of my favorites is creating sacred space and building altars that are in alignment with different spirits, deities, entities that I connect with, and aligning myself with their energy, embodying their qualities, and being in communion with those spiritual beings. This is my favorite part of my spirituality. Number 3. How have you changed in a positive way as a result of practicing the craft? How have I changed? I've become more stable mentally, emotionally. I've become more peaceful, more calm. I've discovered my meaning, my purpose. And to be quite honest, purpose is something that we can create for ourselves. But I think that that's a topic for another day. But yeah, this is how I changed. Walking the spiritual path, exploring different spiritual traditions, showed me a different way of living. I've overcame a lot of addictions, a lot of mental health issues because of my spiritual practice and the different entities that I interact with. So this is the best positive change for me personally. Number 4. What has been the most positive result from a spell or a ritual? I don't do spells very often. I never did them frequently. I resort to doing a spell as a last resort. If I have tried everything else and things are not moving, things are not shifting, then I will consider doing a spell work around the particular issue. Back in 2020, to answer the question, what has been the most positive result? Back in 2020, I was returning to spirituality after a short break in my university years. And I was recovering from a very toxic romantic relationship. And at that point, I have been 3 years single, and I was feeling that I was ready to meet another person, a new partner. So I was going on all of those dates, but no of the candidates were meeting my standards. There were no chemistry. I didn't like them at all. So I decided to do a spell. So I made a sacred space, I cast a circle, I invoked Aphrodite, and I created a spell bottle to attract love and certain qualities in a partner towards myself. I didn't specify physical characteristics of the partner that I was looking for. I only specified how this partner, how I wanted to be treated, how I wanted to feel in the relationship, and I asked Aphrodite for help. In the next 2 weeks, I was on two dates every single day. And out of nowhere, a name popped up in my head, a name of a friend from university that I hadn't seen in years at this point. He wasn't living in the same country anymore, and at first I didn't think anything of it, and I just decided to send him a message to see how he was doing. At that point, I didn't connect that nudge to reach out to him with the spell that I did with Aphrodite. But as soon as we established that connection and he replied, we started chatting 24/7. And yeah, a month later, he came to visit me. He was also from Bulgaria initially, but he moved away in a different country. So he came back to see me, and we had this intense connection. It was unreal. I never felt this way with anybody previously, and it felt truly magical. It felt truly significant. But both of us, we never wanted a long distance relationship, so we never even spoke about being together. We just enjoyed the time that we were with each other. Then he moved back to Austria, and we continued talking every single day. 2 more months passed, and we actually admitted that we were falling in love with each other and that we both wanted to pursue the connection further. And so I packed my bags and I moved to Vienna, Austria to be with him. It was a very impulsive decision. It was very brave because I never imagined myself going to a foreigner country to live with somebody. It was something very, some people may even look at it as something very stupid or naive. But 6 years later, we are still together and we are living together. We have a beautiful dog together, and we are actually going to be married at the end of this summer. So, this is the most positive result and the most immediate result of a spell that I have ever casted. And for that reason, Aphrodite has a forever place in my home, in my practice, in my heart. So let's move forward with number 5. Yeah, number 5. How has your craft enriched the life of others? Now, I don't do spells or rituals for other people, but I can say that by becoming my best version due to my spirituality, by becoming more calm and put together, if you will, by finding my inner peace, by managing my mental health struggles, and by being encouraged by my deities to take better care of myself, I'm able to show up for the people in my life in a better, more positive way. I'm able to be a better person. And I believe that by working on yourself, this creates ripple effects, and other people start to take notice and make changes for themselves so that they can become better versions of them. So I think that that's the answer for this prompt. Okay, the next one. What most are you looking forward to try in your craft, and why? Um, I'm in a space with my practice that I feel very comfortable in. I know what I like, what I dislike. I know what works for me and what doesn't, for the most part. I love exploring different and new territories. And for a while now, I've been thinking on starting relationships with some of the infernal divine spirits, the demons of the Goetia, for very particular reasons. But I don't know why I've had this inner block, and I've been thinking about this for a few months now, maybe up to a year, and I haven't done anything to initiate the contact. This is a arena that I want to explore further because I find the infernos fascinating. I've read a lot about them. I've listened a lot of interviews and lectures from practitioners that are solely dedicated to communion with the inferno. But for whatever reason, I just haven't done it. I created a altar space for one of them, but I created it. I gathered all of the tools, all of the symbols for the spirit, and yet I still haven't reached out to see if that spirit wants to connect with me. And I don't know why I am not doing this. It's some weird internal resistance that I have. And it's weird because I don't have any Christian indoctrination. I'm not afraid. I just don't know what's going on with me around that. But this is a area that I want to explore further, and I want to establish connections with some of the infernal divine. Okay. The next one. What do you like most about the witchy community online and offline? Offline, I don't have a community of spiritual practitioners. I don't know anybody personally that is spiritual or remotely spiritual. And the people in my life, I cannot speak to them about spirituality. that's not something that they are interested in, and that's totally fine. When it comes to the people online, I've met some incredible practitioners, both in terms of their knowledge and experience base, but in terms of connection. The thing that I like the most about the online spiritual community is it's so vast, it's so different, and I like the freedom with which all of us share their unique experiences and practices. It's something that's very important for me, and it's something that I learned so much from. This is my favorite part, that I get to witness the practices of different people and that I don't feel alone. I don't feel ostracized for my different opinions, beliefs, and the different way that I perceive the world. Because for me, I perceive the world through a spiritual lens, and there's no separation between spiritual and mundane for me. But yeah, that's what I like the most about the witch community. Now, I don't like the wars, the witchcraft wars. I don't like that there are some witchcraft practitioners that call themselves witches that are emotionally unintelligent. They act as children. They attack other people for difference of opinions. I don't like that. But for the most part, the most people are very supportive, very open, very honest and authentic, and I truly appreciate that. Okay, number 8. How do you envision your craft evolving in the future? Like I mentioned in the beginning, I'm very eclectic in my approach, and in the future, I truly believe that this is going to continue. How I envision my craft evolving. Like I said, I want to explore the infernal divine, and I also want to learn and dive deeper, even more deeper into energy alignment, energy manipulation, and energy healing. I believe that healing comes from within, and nobody can heal you if you don't want to be healed, if that makes any sense. So this is how I want to take my practice. This is where I want to take my practice. I am very into mysticism and becoming one with your divinity, your face of the divine, and actually embodying their energy into your body, into your life. For me, this is Hecate and a few other very close to me deities as Aphrodite, and I have a few other, but I really want to become one with their energy streams and actually live my life to the best of my abilities to honor their domains, their energy, their signature, and our relationship. My practice is very much informed by the spiritual and the energetic models of Magick, and I believe that those things influence my psychology, my body, my mental, emotional, physical body, my spiritual body. Yeah, I no longer see the line that separates one from the other, if you will. And in the future, I truly envision my practice deepening and becoming more rich, more fulfilling. And yeah, my practice is the center of my existence. So I don't see that changing anytime soon. Okay, number 9. How are you keeping your practice happy, healthy, and productive? I am struggling a bit with managing my time in terms of consuming spiritual content through YouTube and through books, etc., versus actually practicing. I feel that at times I feel myself with the opinions of other practitioners way more than actually listening to my intuition, and I want to change that. In terms of how I keep my practice happy, I don't limit myself. I go where the flow takes me, meaning I explore all of the topics uh, that spark an interest. I don't limit myself. I always try to be respectful. I don't appropriate. But I appreciate a lot of different traditions from a lot of different cultures. I don't incorporate a lot of elements because I know what works for me. But in terms of what makes me happy spiritually is expanding my knowledge and seeing the vast diaspora of practices and practitioners. In terms of productivity, I don't like the need to be productive. I do things because I want to do things. I don't do things because I have to do things. And this is something that I changed. It was a very difficult shift from me because for the longest time I used to base my sense of self-worth into my productivity, but it wasn't very healthy for me. And in terms of my spiritual practice, I don't look at myself as being productive. I look at myself as aligning myself. And it's quite true that if something is important to you, you will find the time, the energy, and the space to engage with that thing, being a person, relationship, spiritual practice, what have you. So I don't like being productive. I like living my life, and that's that. Okay, last one. Advice for other witches. Don't put yourself in a box. Don't limit yourself. And don't be afraid. There is a lot of fear mongering online, especially. Of course, be cautious, learn the basics of protection, cleansing, all of those things. But fear has no place. Um, no, I lied. Fear is very important because it shows you things that you need to overcome, and it gives you a great point of reference for self-reflection. But don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to cast spells if you want. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to seek for community. Don't be afraid to seek guidance from different gods and goddesses. And by the way, I am going to be recording a few videos around deity relationships. And I just want to mention that you don't have to wait for a spirit or a deity to reach out for you to you. You can initiate the contact, and the relationship can be as significant as and as beautiful if it was the other way around. It doesn't really matter who initiates the contact. The other thing is that keep in mind that just because you're spiritual and you are practicing, you are not more special than the average Joe down the street. We are all human beings, we are all equal, and we are all important. So don't use spirituality and witchcraft to boost your ego and to escape your negative patterns, to mask them, but do the opposite. Use your practice to become a better version of yourself. I think that that's everything. that I wanted to share in terms of those prompts. Sorry, it's very loud outside. I don't know if you can hear it, but yeah. So yeah, guys, this is the Happy Witch tag by Kelly Ann Maddox. I've only seen James Finney's response. I know that this hashtag is old, really old, for internet ears, if you will. It's not up to date, but I found it very intriguing, and I am interested to see more responses from the past. And if you are a practitioner, a witch or other spiritual practitioner in 2026, and you want to do a VR to the hashtag Happy Witch tag, I'll be more than delighted to watch your video and responses and your response to the question. And yeah, thank you so much for being here with me, for spending this time with me. I truly appreciate your support. I truly am so happy for our community growing here on the Art Occultist. And yeah, happy witching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and many blessings. Bye.